welcome back to the Raw Reviews channel. And guys, today we're reviewing someone I've been waiting to review for a long time. That being the S.H.Figuarts Frieren from Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Guys, I've been waiting so long to review Frieren here on the channel, and finally we have her in hand. She looks amazing. Love the style of the box that we have right here, of course with the massive window showing the figure, and of course the accessories as well. You also get this really awesome golden text featuring her name. You get this awesome shot of the figure itself, the S.H.Figuarts logo, the seal, and the other brands. On this side right here, you get another shot of the figure and her name as well. On the back of the box, you get some other shots of the figure, some of the different interchangeable faces that you can get, and then, of course, some of the accessories as well shown right here. There's also some warnings right here on the back. On the other side, you get the rest of the window, her name, and then this cute little shot right here on the bottom. On the bottom, you just get the sticker warning. There's the top of the box. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. And here she is out of the box. And looking at her up close, they nailed it. I love the overall look of the figure. Looks exactly like her. And before I get too much into it, let's go ahead and start from top to bottom. Looking at the head, it looks fantastic. I love the printing on that faceplate. Looks very much like, she just came out of the anime. There's printing in the eyes, the eyebrows right here. Love the earrings and her elf ears as well. Those look amazing. And then, of course, her white hair and then the pigtails match up so well. But yeah, here's a close-up on that faceplate so you guys can see. And going over the articulation, she does have a joint at the neck as well as top of the head. So you have plenty of movement, side to side, back, and forward. Looking at the torso now, she comes with this like white and yellow sort of like cowl. She mainly wears this throughout the series. And then underneath, she does have that striped black and white shirt right there. Really cool detail. Love this sort of like cowl piece. It is made of a looser plastic, so that is nice to know. And it does have like these little grooves for the sleeves, just in case you need to move her arms. And there is some nice little details going throughout it, like these little red buttons. There's also one right here near the collar. And as far as articulation goes, she does have a ball joint right here at the lower waist, so you get some pretty good movement, side to side, back, and forward. Looking at the arms, arm does stick out pretty good. It goes about there before, getting in the way of the cowl. Goes back about there before interfering with that cowl yet again. She does have, I believe, like a double elbow, so let me just get it out here a little bit. You can get it up pretty nicely, but as far as like moving it upwards like that, again, the cowl does get in the way a bit, but she does have that double elbow, which is nice. She does have like a swivel right here. I can feel it near the shoulder. And then she does have a swivel right here at the wrist at the hand. And then looking at the other side, again, arm goes out pretty nicely. There is a double elbow, but it goes just about there before interfering with that cowl. Again, the arm does move very fairly, good for what it is. And then I'm sure you just saw that. I forgot to mention that the joint right here near the shoulder is almost like a butterfly joint. So you can get some more movement, which is nice to know. And then, of course, movement right here at the wrist at the hand. And then real quick, before I move on to the lower waist, I just saw this when I was moving around her arms. So the pigtails have their own peg, so you can move them around. This is mainly used, of course, for the other optional like pigtails that you can place on her. But it is nice seeing that, they aren't just a single mold, which I kind of like. Now looking at the lower waist, you can see right there she does have this black belt with a silver belt buckle, goes all the way around her waist, no pouches, nothing like that. And then she does have this bottom skirt, again with the same colorway as the rest of her outfit, white, and then with this yellow or golden trim. Looking at the legs, she is able to go out into almost a split position right here, kind of in a sitting position, and the legs go back pretty far. She, of course, has these gray leggings, or like these sort of like black leggings. They look kind of gray. There's pinless joints right here. So as you can see, her knee joints go into a full-on kneeling position, and I'll get to that in a bit. She does have a swivel in her thighs, and the reason I was going to go back to that kneeling position is because that is one of the key features that they promote for this figure. And last but not least, she does have these awesome brown boots of hers. They're really well detailed, things like that. There is kind of like an individual swivel right here near the boot. And then it does have a joint right there around the ankle. So you get some pretty good movement. And again, I love the S.H.Figuarts brand of figures just because you can move even the toes. So seeing that extra bit of like articulation is again another step up. And now looking at the accessories, she has a bunch of hands. She comes with 2 fists, a slightly open pair to hold her staff, and a really cool pair that has her almost like in this praying hand gesture. To swap out a hand, all you want to do is just shimmy off the hand that you want and then replace it with the one that you're choosing. Usually there's a snapping noise right here. You want to place it inside the peg as so, and there you go. And then to get like the praying hands, it's basically the same thing, except from wherever you start, from either this side or this one, you just reconnect it with that little peg, and it looks really good. And then this is what I was getting at before when I told you guys that she has one of the best kneeling poses as far as like any other S.H. Figuart I reviewed, is they have her in this praying pose, and it's really cool seeing that she is able to kneel really well compared to other figurines. Up next, she has the faceplates. She has this smiling expression, this more serious expression, and a worried expression. To change out a faceplate, it's pretty much the same exact thing that most S.H. Figuart figures, go through. You remove the bangs right here, or it's along the hairline, and then afterwards you just shimmy off the faceplate that's existing. Then after that, you can choose the one that you want to replace it with. There's a small little peg in there. There's a peg for the hairline, and there you go. Up next, she comes with an optional pair of pigtails. To apply the pigtails, same exact thing with most of these accessories. You want to shimmy off the pigtails right here off of the little peg. There's your first look at a short-haired Frieren. And then afterwards, you can just place them inside of the pegs. I think it's also kind of nice because you get an idea of where the pegs are supposed to go based on the hairline. And there you go. So this kind of gives it more of like whenever she's battling or things like that, that kind of like hairstyle with her pigtails instead of it being around her shoulders. So that's kind of cool. Up next, we have her staff. Looking at Frieren's staff, it looks incredible. One of the coolest accessories I've seen come, alongside her. Really nice look to it. It's really cool seeing, these sort of simple colors, but yet it is its own weapon, and you can kind of get an idea of that already. It has like this sort of like sphere up here. It has this little sort of like tie around it as well. Has this red handle, gold right there, and on top as well. But it's really elegant. I love the look of her staff. To equip the staff, you want to take off this part of the staff right here, where the sphere is at. You can enter right here on the bottom of her hand. slowly sort of builds it up until it reaches the other hand right here. And then again, you want to build that up as well. Once you got that done, you just match it right here within the peg. The sphere goes inside, and there you go. There's Frieren with her staff. And last but not least, she comes with this final accessory, which is this spell sort of like stand accessory. So checking out the sort of like spell accessory, I think it is like the defense spell, if I'm not mistaken. Looks really cool. Obviously, it is in this like sort of transparent plastic, and then it has this really cool graphic going on both sides. The sort of like thing itself, it does come in like this plastic cover, so you can peel that off if you want, but I'll probably leave it on there. And then it does come with this stand piece, so here's the stand itself, and then here's that sort of like arm that goes on top of it. You just place it in there, and then it has a little groove. And then after you've placed it in there, you can just shimmy on the little thing right there, and it looks great. And now you can place, Frieren doing some spells, casting spells, things like that, with this new accessory piece. That'd be kind of cool to see later on. I'm not sure if Fern comes with her own. That'd be kind of neat to see. But either way, I'm really happy to see that they at least went the extra mile to give us this like spell accessory to go along with Frieren. So as an overview of the figure, I am so happy right now. Frieren is one of the coolest S.H.Figuarts, we reviewed in some time. Everything from the figure itself, it really captures her, very well. Like she just stepped out of the anime. From the attention to detail, from her outfit to the overall character, the accessories I'm really happy with, especially with her staff looking the way it is, and then that awesome sort of like spell accessory really brings the figure together. But yeah, I'm really happy to see, where they go throughout this lineup now that they've acquired Frieren's license, things like that. I already know Fern's out there, and I'll go ahead and say it. I have her coming in just a few days, so please expect this to be like almost like a two-parter. So Fern will be up next for sure. But we have Stark still. We have the OG sort of like crew that she was with, her party with Himmel and all of them. So hopefully down the line we get to see that. I did hear recently when I was, reviewing her right now that Figma just got their hands on a license too. So they're making a Frieren, Figma, and Himmel. So they beat S.H.Figuarts to him, but hopefully later on down the line we can check her out as well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this review, and oh my gosh, it feels good to, come back into it, record finally. I was gone for, well, not technically gone, but I was here in my home. We were renovating and stuff, so that's what took up most of the time. But now with construction out of the way, we are back at it. But with that said, if you guys enjoyed this review, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram, and I'll catch you all on the next one. See you guys.